Hello to all my friends, from wish friends to bear friends and staff friends. I'm grateful for you all. Seidr is a mystical path, but not Seidr alone. As the decades have unfolded for me, a seed has burst forth and blossomed in my heart. This wisdom tree is one of diversity and inclusion. The more I research and reveal, the more my heart expands to encompass all forms of spirituality. From shamans to witches, from berserkers to ceremonial mages, from vidkis to intuitive healers, from bushcrafters to yogins, from alchemists to Wiccans, and more. From where I stand, I spay, I see each as an antidote to fundamentalism, equally as each has at its core the characteristics of frith and friendship, hope and courage, learning and sharing. Those who began the spiritual journey, who have remained the course, have certainly noticed that people are simply more comfortable with those who are similar to them. There is a connection between us that comes organically. After all, those who have arrived at a particular vista know that inclusion and diversity fuel purpose, commitment, and engagement. Intrinsically, mystics are motivated towards relationships, not necessarily fellowship, but certainly reaching out and establishing connections with those of like mind, whether they are alike or different. From my experience, mystics are curious and inquisitive, ever seeking to learn more, to grow deeper and higher, to overcome bias and barrier, to live removed from stereotype and judgment, to simply be more open and interacting with those of us who are otherwise labeled different. So it is that I have come to spay to see that the mystic sense of inclusivity has the might to utilize diversity to transform ourselves, our friends, our workplaces, and our society. But first, let's look at what lies at the heart of every mystic and spiritual practice. From my vantage, they all share stillness and contemplation. Nor is this a new age or modern idea, but one that comes with a rich and diverse history. In researching Seidr and shamanic history, witchcraft and berserker history, and researching all paths mystical, I have revealed that from the dawn of time, before history was even recorded, humans have sought the rich ground of transcendence, or that experience and existence that is beyond the normal, everyday physical reality. Within myself and interactions with fellow mystics, all mystical and magical practices inspire creativity and caring, frith and camaraderie, fairness and hospitality. Certainly, there is a key here, one that unlocks the meaning and joy-filled world all around us. On my public Facebook page, I emphasize the historicity of human nature across time and culture. We all are spirit sharing a human experience. On my blog, I emphasize the deeply mystical and ever-evolving practice of Seidr. In all my books, I couple academic citation with personal gnosis actual hands-on daily living experience of the where, the how, and the why of mystical meaning in daily life. All of these avenues of access are rooted in my 40 plus years of application. In addition to the sagacity of my own experience, I have learned that when you join my fastness, my circle of Patreon pledges, you too are able to partake of this mystical community. Whether you are a shaman or a seer, a healer or berserker, you share with me an innate drive, a compulsion, a deep yearning to both seek and find other seekers to relate with. In your Patreon pledge, we find such a place of camaraderie and fellowship. So please join me then today on the quest to share the message of these ancient and contemporary mystics, those heart-strong souls unbound by fear to evolve their praxis, taking it to the next level. The path ahead is dark and choked with bramble, but the brave mystic pushes on, seeking that deeper spiritual truth. And you're not alone. Your pledge on Patreon, no matter the size, makes it possible for me to keep researching and revealing, writing and creating contemplative content inspired by mystics worldwide through every aeon. Your pledge on Patreon is not just supporting me, but it's a gift to others by assuring that my writing is consistently available to the thousands of people who visit my Facebook page and blog every single day. Many of these seekers may not currently be in a position to pay for my writing, but the true mystic knows the might of gift giving, of reciprocity. Every seeker depends on the generosity and support of people like theirself to do their part in assuring that esoteric research, spiritual writing, and contemplative inquiry remain freely available online for those mystical and magical souls in our midst. Being in touch with many of you, I know the support of my Facebook page, blog, books, and art have aided or contributed into your personal growth, which is why I want to express my genuine gratitude in real ways, which is why each level of Patreon pledge, each level of support beginning in 2022, will receive exclusive access to a Patreon-only newsletter, my members-only Facebook page, my works in progress, which includes mystic research and writing, Seidr poetry and art, chapters of forthcoming books, and actual sitting out meditations. As our fellowship of mystics and seekers has grown, but mostly based on the restrictions here on Patreon, I have made updates to the tiers or the ways in which you can continue your support. Likewise, I have created an external means of continuing the sharing of this information through a newly created YouTube channel called Mystic Musings. This will make some of our accessible insights available to all. As much as I enjoy my Facebook page and my blog, the real perk of Patreon is the opportunity for us to interact, all of us. You see, diversity in mystical matters reduces risk while enhancing returns. So again, based on your level of support, your Patreon pledge opens you to greater access, to include the forthcoming Patreon-only classes. Starting in 2022, I'm offering these new and additional benefits and events at least once a month. Some of them recorded for pledged Patreons to watch at your convenience. I consider this a benefit because based on my phone calls and IMs with you, this is what I hear you want. Also because I hear you. I know that not all of you have time to read or drop me a message, and that is all right, because I know that you're there. Which is why every pledge on Patreon, regardless of amount, helps every other seeker find that moment in time to be still and know the mystical life, and that others, like theirself, are out there as well. Your insights and comments, questions and feedback are fuel to the fire in my head. So thank you for speaking and writing me. Thank you to every individual path and every individual practitioner, because not only does inclusion birth ingenuity, but it makes me a more effective writer and artist. And this is how we build and become a community. When we join together, a blend of many different beautiful and vibrant threads, we grow stronger, weaving a tight-knit and supportive frith space for all who walk the mystical and spiritual journey. I am genuinely excited about the revised benefits that I am able to offer, and genuinely motivated by your support to do more. At the least, I want to convey that I know you are the most significant pledge, that your financial support is not simply to me, but the reciprocity of our deed ripples out to all those who seek, either on my Facebook page, my blog, or through my books and art. Your generosity directly blesses spiritual seekers across our beautiful Mother Earth. And if you walk away with anything from these words right now, know that diversity is not adversity. So please make your pledge today, and thank you for your continued support. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, stay whole, for we are truly companions on this great and mystical journey.